Hello, my name is Charlene DeChico. It is with sincere passion that I am eager to learn about people, culture, true history, and the overall human experience. Join with me as I embark on this journey. This is your Community Spotlight.
And I'm very grateful and thankful, that I can come and be a part of this event here like this today. And I'm very grateful for our chairman, for leading this, heading the way in this, him and his staff. I know this is tremendous to him. He's always advocating, not just in our communities here on the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation, but also, going out to Washington and even seeing him, on those national levels, advocating for us back home, but also, for Indian country.
And good morning. One more time. Good morning. Awesome. That's the way. We got a very special day today. I want to thank all our friends and relatives and special guests from afar for coming here to share in this wonderful event. This is the second time that the Marine Corps has come. They were here 2 years ago, and we asked them to return, and they asked if they could come back. And so we honored that commitment and that pledge, and they're going to be here today. You're going to be able to enjoy this with them. The United States Marine Corps.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. takes great pleasure in presenting the United States Marine Corps Battle Colors Ceremony. The featured units include the Commandant's Own United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, the Silent Drill Platoon, and the official color guard of the Marine Corps. The Marines entering the performance area represent over 7 decades of marching and rifle drill precision. Comprised of infantry Marines, the Silent Drill Platoon executes its sequence without verbal cadence or command. The M1 rifles they carry with fixed bayonets weigh in excess of 10½ pounds. Representing Marines around the world, the Silent Drill Platoon demonstrates the finest in Marine professionalism, esprit de corps, and marching precision. The platoon commander is Captain Greg Jones of Burke, Virginia. The platoon sergeant is Staff Sergeant Kyle Havens of West Liberty, Kentucky. The platoon rifle inspector is Corporal Gerald Wells of Picayune, Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. proudly presents the United States Marine Corps Silent Drill Platoon. offer you a driving Latin-inspired piece by Duke Ellington, featuring mellophone soloists Staff Sergeant Logan Mueller-Jonas and Staff Sergeant Christopher Walker, and baritone soloists Sergeant Nico Lopez and Sergeant Travis Lowe. Caravan.
My name is Drew Wrigley. I'm the Attorney General of the great state of North Dakota. This is really exciting. I said in my brief remarks, I wanted to thank the tribe and thank Chairman Fox for the invitation to come up. What an honor! And you can't come to an event like this and not note the participation rates in the United States military in our tribal communities across the state. And so really I accept the invitation as a way to honor the veterans and the active service members. Also, obviously, just to take in the sights with the United States Marine Corps. That was a spectacular performance, very special. And my thanks to Chairman Fox and the tribe for the invitation. My family, actually, our family farm is not too far from here, north and west of here, up northwest of Columbus, northeast of Crosby, where we still, Wrigley Brothers Farms, still farm. My dad grew up there, and I'm proud to have that affiliation as part of the state. But we get out here quite a lot. I spent 10 years as the United States Attorney for North Dakota also, so lots of involvement with tribal communities. And obviously in North Dakota, the amount of economic activity up here, the leadership of these communities in the oil and gas front, so important to our state economy, the regional economy, national economy, and international politics. The tie is very strong. And you've got some visionary leadership out here, and that's key. And when there's such a dynamic situation with the economics, a lot of money flowing in and around these communities, a lot of economic activity, if you don't have the right folks in leadership, the directional changes can be kind of abrupt and jarring. I applaud. I just talked with a couple of tribal council members, and I applaud the people of this area that have really looked to the future and said, how can we make important long-term consequential decisions for our communities? I think it's evident to anybody come in. Like I say, my kiddos have gone to Shiloh Christian. We come up for sporting events. I come up for professional events like this, and then just making our way through on personal travel as well. But it's the economic activity is such. I was stopped on the highway for about 15 minutes coming over here because there's so much going on. They had a little road stop there for traffic, but it's always progress out here. The roads are getting widened even further. Infrastructure's sound. A lot of community investment. It's exciting to be here. This room was packed with a lot of people today.
Voting is important to our tribal communities to stand up for the beliefs and to the injustices that we as Native people and Native America have faced continuously.
We have voices, and when things change, we need to be made aware of those things because we are overlooked all the time.
We're intertwined. If we're going to be intertwined and be self-reliant on each other, it's best to have an election system that is fair.
It's not going to change overnight, but we fight every day.
When I was growing up, my grandmother used to always say to me, one day you're going to be standing up for your people.
The Newtown Chamber presents Great Plains Indian Trading on Main Street, a valued member of the Newtown Chamber. Owned and operated by Ryan Wilson. Wilson and his 6 children have been running Great Plains Indian Trading since 2015. With many beautiful handmade and decorative items on display and for purchase, the goal for the business is to preserve the Upper Missouri's tribal lifeways, stories, ceremonies, and culture through Indian art and material expressions. Open from Thursday to Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Great Plains welcomes community members, visitors, and tourists to stop by and experience Indian country.
We thank you for watching today and having an open ear and coming in the spirit of being together in community. So everyone is welcome to be here at Bethel at any time. If you wish to talk to me, the easiest way would be to see me in the community, of course, and to be welcome, because everyone is welcome, to our worship on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your spirit in making our community what it is.
This Rough Rider rodeo that we're at today, the Berger family, Shad in particular, is the organizer, but this whole history of this area involves our nation. Mandan itself is named after one of our tribes, the Mandan head out to the Ricra. And so our history is very rich here. All the parks that we have here, all the monuments that we have are all symbolic of how we lived here for thousands of years. And so when we were approached to say, how would you like to put together a show, a rodeo show, in which we feature some of the cultural aspects and history we said, yeah, of course we'll do that. So we became a major sponsor of this particular event. It's important when people come here to watch this rodeo that they understand the meaning of the history and people that were here before and they're still here today. With your dancers, your history, the singing, the teepees and things of that nature. And these are celebrations that go on all warm summer long, right? And so we start in May and we end up this last week here in the United Tribes, where we have thousands of dancers and singers and tens of thousands of people, 100,000 people that come into the city to enjoy the culture. And it's kind of like the grand event of all the summer dancing in Powwow. We work a lot with our youth. We sponsor training, rodeos, all for our youth, because long ago, our MHA people were top competitors in the world out in NFR long ago in the 50s and the 60s. MHA riders and the Hall of Fame on a national and state level were there. Now we've gotten a position that we can help promote the sport again. You see a lot of our young athletes or young adult athletes starting to rise up to go back to compete at that level, on the world level. So we're going to be so excited in the years to come here, in the next decade. All the riders are going to come out of this area and perform at that kind of level, and who knows, be world champions like we've had in the past. The thing that I'm really impressed by is for many years, you know, I grew up in Parshall, and sometimes we often lack that cultural education, history education for local, for MHA, and 3 Philly tribes, the Mandan, the Dotson Rickraw. We lacked all that. And so he has brought a lot of that to Parshall, and so proud of him and everything that he does, helping open up, broaden the minds. And when we all understand each other better, whether you're tribal or non-tribal, when you understand yourself, who you are, where you come from, it's a lot easier to have discussion, and when you have dialogue, it's easier for you to cross those bridges and get rid of the differences that sometimes separate people. And no more important than that is this day and time now, on the state level, national, and worldwide level, with a lot of negativity going on, a lot of things that happen with racism and being an excuse for somebody to treat somebody poorly or badly or to do harm to them, and it's not good. But here on Fort Berthold, we have this, and not just in Parshall, but every school, we have this movements of people coming together, learning to understand each other's ways, and us understanding non-Indians as much as non-Indians understand us as well. We're all one community, and we all work together. Makes me happy when I go over and spoke last week, a little presentation education conference they had over there with all the young students, and I got a chance to say a few words. But before we started out, there was the drum group singing junior high. I think they had junior high boys, and they were singing together, tribal and non-tribal, singing, rendering some songs and things for us. So he's been doing this his whole life, coaching, you know, he's a champion coach as well. So he's been involved with so many things in his life. And it's just our small way of saying thank you for all that you've been doing to help our people here on Fort Berthold and people in general, and great distances. You've been helping a lot of different people in many different ways. So we have a plaque today, and it says, "With our greatest appreciation, we hereby present Damon Brady in recognition of your exceptional dedication of cultural teaching and unwavering commitment to the students of Parshall High School, October 21, and signed off 24, signed off Mark Fox, Chairman MHA Nation." Let's give David a round of applause. I've known his parents very well too, you know, humbly, and he would be in that regard. His dad worked underneath when I was on council before. His dad was really revered greatly for his leadership, his spiritual leadership, and the knowledge of his ways as well. Very highly respected, as is his mother too. Same way. So with good parents, you have good children. and they learned a lot of different things. They absorbed his father's passed on from this world, but he's really strongly remembered by a lot of our people. And I'm one of those. He took the time one time when he didn't have to come and help pray for me, on the side, and brought medicine and brought things and helped me. Many years ago, about 20 years ago, he come and helped me do that. I'll never forget his dad in doing that. So that's the kind of background he comes from. So in his ways and his understanding, and he's humble about many things. But.
So all you young guys in here, just to show you how old this guy is right here. He was my teacher, and he taught me tribal history and tribal government, just like he's doing you. And I would venture to say that I'm the first student you ever had that made it to council, right? Yeah. And he took me in when I was a sophomore and kept me for my whole sophomore year and junior year. I had the ability to eat Valerie's very first Thanksgiving dinner. Remember that? Yeah. It was the best Thanksgiving dinner I ever had that Valerie cooked, and the only one I ever had that she cooked. And then just a little bit about this. This is my uncle and real close relative. He is a direct descendant from Chief Whiteshield, as am I. He had two sisters. I come from one sister, they come from the other sister. I'm very, very proud of my uncle. He does a tremendous job representing our family in a dignified way. He's been a great mentor for me. He's been a great mentor for my children. And when we talk about cross country, I was like, your Uncle Damon, he was our NAI champion in, geez, I don't want to say the years, but it was in the 80s, and it was in Minot, before Minot became D2. 80, well, you can date yourself. But I'm very, very proud of him. I'm very, very proud to call him my uncle. He does a great job representing us. Uncle, thank you very, very much for everything that you do. Appreciate you.
Damon is my close relative, so in some ways all of us are all related pretty closely, even though we may or may not know it. And I'm a lot older than him, and so he was just a little guy, and he was always ambitious and wanted to serve and help and learn about our ways. And there's a lot of respect in that. He's always been a good family man and a father to his children, and working hard to make sure he has food on his table for his family and taking care of himself. And there's nothing more important than that. Being a man, a family man, doing your best in everything that you possibly can do. And so I'm always proud of him. He's quiet too. He's very humble. He doesn't get out there in front of everybody and brag about all these things. And so humbleness is a very good trait that he has. And so I'm very proud of you, even though we quietly don't say too much to each other. And that's just our way, our cultural way. So I'm very proud of you.
Sure.
Well, Damon, you had some wrongs, haven't you?
Yeah.
I and Damon coached against each other, but also Damon coached a couple of my children, and he took them far. I really appreciate everything that you do. I see you running, and I'll say, look at that young man running, I said, and you guys are just sitting here in this car. So you should be out there running with him. But anyway, I am very proud of you, Damon, and everything that you do.
Let's get up.
Thank you for being a friend of mine. Let's get up.
Thank you.
Ready?
Damon, just would like to thank you for being a good role model for our kids here in Fort Berthold, all the schools, Parshall and Newtown, Whiteshield, Mandaree, all of them. You've been a good role model to all of them. You've touched a lot of kids, in growing up, and they learned from you. They learned a lot of good teachings that you grew up with. Used to powwow with Damon a long time ago in the 80s when I grew up. I used to follow my dad, and his dad used to follow and go to the Montana powwows and all over Canada, everywhere else in the 80s. And later on, when I got older, I got to run college cross country with him when he ran for Minot State with BJ and Whitney, and I ran for University of Mary. But yeah, he always was a good leader, and I looked up to him for the things he's done, and continue to look up to him for helping our children and being out there for everyone to look up to. So thank you, Damon, for doing that.
Thank you, appreciate it. First of all, good friends, relatives, I just want to say thank you, Council. This is unexpected. I'm thankful, grateful, appreciative, and we appreciate all of you. You know, today we brought 26 of Parshall's finest at the school there, and we talk about a lot of different things in our classes. You know, we talk about Robert White all the way down to everybody, you know, Twin Buttes, and now our kids finally get an opportunity to see everybody here. And so in a way, you know, you are role models, you know, and we thank you for allowing us to come here today. And the biggest reason we wanted to come here today was to take in what happens at the government level, so that we could learn and they could utilize that. And I always tell these guys, you know, you're not the leaders of tomorrow. Everybody says that. Tell them, you know, you're the leaders of today, you know, and all of them come from good families, each and every one of them, and I'm proud of all of them. And I know we have a big, a long agenda. Don't want to take too much time, but just want to thank everybody for this little opportunity, this great opportunity here, and thankful for these gifts here on behalf of our school, my family, and our community. So with that, good friends, relatives, I want to say, Mazagida, Coach Day, thank all of you for your kind words. That's what they always say, you know, treat people the way, you know, that you want to be treated. Something I'll never forget, and appreciative and thankful. So I just want to say, Mazagida again. Yeah.
Are you addicted to drugs? Narcotics Anonymous can help. If you are interested in Narcotics Anonymous and cannot make it to a physical meeting, or are wanting to experience the Fellowship of Recovering Addicts online, visit virtual-na.org to learn more about online meetings and meetings over the phone.